welcome back to the channel. In today's review I have the Tagry X08 headphones. So let me kind of put that in a camera view so you guys can see that. It's a lot of shadows in my background. Here we go. So this headset was in fact sent to me for review purposes, and super excited about that. Like always, I like transparency in these videos. So let's talk a couple specifications before I even do an unboxing. So they do have smart touch controls, which are basically touch controls. It is IPX5 for waterproof resistance. So if you're outside jogging, running, things like that, if they hit a little dew on the headset, it won't damage your headset. Naturally, they do have built-in microphones. I kind of figured that was self-explanatory. Portable charging case, because the earbuds go inside the case themselves. They have an LED power display, so it'll let you know how charged the actual Bluetooth is, in addition to the actual case itself, which is a good thing because too many headphones don't have that feature where you can see how charged the buds are, but never the actual case itself. So I do appreciate that. And surprisingly, it has wireless charging. Now you do have a battery life of about 6 hours of battery life. It will probably change depending on if you're talking or listening to phone calls. But in terms of listening time, 6 hours, and you get a total of 60 hours with the actual buds itself inside of the case, so that's something to think about. Anyway, with that being said, the question is, are these buds right here worth the asking price? We're going to unbox that right now, and I'll let you know by the end of this video. Let's get right to the review. So as soon as you unbox everything, this is what you're going to get. You're going to have the actual earbuds that come pre-charged, or technically they're not pre-charged, they're charging right now, and that's why you see the battery life dropping so rapidly. And in case you're seeing this fluctuate, it's because I'm recording with another device. Otherwise, it'll be a solid 78 or whatever the percentage is for the case itself. Anywho, you do have these wingtips right here, which they look like they're mediums and larges, or possibly, normally they come with small, medium, and large. From my understanding, it looks like the smaller ear tips might be on this when you first purchase them, but just change the wingtips or ear tips, whatever you call them, to fit your ear properly so you get the best music listening experience. So I'm glad that they come with these. You have a USB-C device right here, which isn't too long. I would say it's not quite a foot, I'm sure, probably about 6 to 7 inches maybe or so, the cord itself. Yeah, don't quote me on that. But if you have your own USB-C, whether you're an Apple user or if you're a Samsung or Android user, those cords should work perfectly fine. You don't necessarily have to use the original. Just make sure when you charge your actual buds, you use a different power supply that's not too powerful. You don't want to burn out your buds. Then right here, we have the earbuds themselves. Oh, we also have the instruction manual, but I'm going to go ahead and show you this in the next section and give it its own dedicated section. So here's the buds. On the bottom, you have the USB-C right here. Remember, these have wireless charging. So I'm assuming on the back of it is where the wireless charging is, which I'm going to show you guys how to charge it wirelessly so you'll know moving forward. You can tear off the plastic on the top right here. I'm going to leave that on, the film. It actually came with a film too when you open it up outside of the box. But because I want to preserve them, I'm going to go ahead and keep the plastic on. Now, as soon as you pop open the case, here are the buds themselves. For anyone wondering the difference between the left and the right bud, remember, the left bud can't fit in the right slot. So it'll always fit in the left slot, while the right bud will always fit in the right spot. So there you go. Now you know. But outside of that, I like to think that these buds look pretty nice for the most part. You have this right here. This is the rubber tip. I'm going to show you guys how to actually take off the rubber tips and put them back on. Let me do that right now. So this is the easiest way. So for a person out there wondering how to change the tips, all you got to do is flip this backwards. You don't have to flip it backwards, but it makes your life a whole lot easier. And you could just pop this on so you can see what it is that you're doing, fit it properly, and then flip it back, and then you're good to go. But this is the earbud itself right here. On the outside, you have the, let me apologize, guys. For anyone that might have some type of seizure, let me just turn it this way so you can't see the blinking light. But the point is, on the back of it is the syncing light, which I'm going to assume the left side will sync to the right side and it could be used individually, which I'll check that in a moment in the next, music section. But this is the bud itself. I think it's a pretty clean looking design. I think it looks very, very nice in my opinion. And for anyone purchasing these, you're not going to be disappointed in the quality of the build. It looks pretty decent. Now, I'm not going to say it's the most premium of the materials, but premium stuff tend to cost hundreds of dollars, and this is like a cheaper alternative for people that don't want to break the bank. Now on the outside, I forgot to mention this to you guys. Right here, you have the left charge and the right charge. That's how you know the buds are in the right spot. It'll say L and R, and of course it won't be blinking like this when you actually use it yourself. It's because I'm recording through a camera, and that's why this is happening. But it shows the battery life of the case itself, which is currently at 63%, and it shows the battery life of the actual bud, so you know which one is charging, if it needs to be charged or things like that, which, you know, I do welcome that. I'm actually very grateful that companies take the time to put the battery meter of the case on the outside, because to be honest with you, I have so many earbuds, I forget to charge them. So a lot of times they just end up dying and I'm like, oh, let me go back and charge it. I wish I had some type of notification let me know that the case battery life is lower, but this one happens to have it. So I have nothing bad to say about the design itself. Now, as for the instructions, this is the X08 instruction manual. Now, sometimes people lose things, and I'm not here to judge anyone that does, but this is what I'm going to say to you guys. Make sure you pause this video and screen record the parts that you need, or take a screenshot, or you can even just take a phone if you're watching it from like a PC or anything else, and just kind of take a picture so you can have these, not specifications, but how to actually use it. So we're going to go through that right now. So it says packaging list right here. You have your product overview, which shows you the microphones, the charging port, things like that. You have how to wear. It shows you that you have the small, medium, and large tips, like I showed you earlier in this video. It shows you how to put them inside your ear, which is pretty self-explanatory, but what I would suggest about the wearing section is that you twist it to where it's comfortable in your personal ear, because each ear size is entirely different. So just remember that. You have the power on feature. When you actually put them inside the case, they turn off, and when you take them out of the case, they automatically power on. But on an off chance that that may not be working, or one bud doesn't sync to the other, you do have the ability to manually power it on, and that's where the touch feature is right there. And then it says power off and manual power off. Now, there's a little bit more for us to look at. Here we go in the back. It shows you how to pair it, which really, let me see, do you have to, oh, you get to open the charging case. Earbuds will automatically power on and go through it. Okay, so apparently if I open up the case, they will automatically put themselves in pairing mode. Now, personally, I am going to see if that works, and if it doesn't, I'll show you the alternative way in order to pair most headphones. You have your call controls right here. It says answer, double tap on either bud in order to answer and hang up calls. Oh, I'm sorry, to answer calls. To reject a call, you hold it and for 2 seconds, and it will actually send a person to voicemail or stop the phone from ringing. You do have the option to change your music. You have tap to play. You actually double tap the left bud in order to make it go backwards. Is it the left bud? Yeah, double tap the left bud to make it go backwards. Double tap the right bud to make it go forward. And it shows you how to actually use the volume control. So I don't think that there's an application for this actual headset. So the instructions you see here is all the customization that you actually have. And then it shows you how to charge it. Now, if you notice it, you can plug it through USB-C, or the second method is wireless charging, which I want to show you guys how to do that on one of the wireless chargers that I have. But outside of that, this is the instructions right here. Just make sure that you pause the video if you have this particular headset, or if you're interested in syncing it, or you need to learn the controls instead of fumbling it yourself. Remember this section. So I'm going to show you guys how to sync this to 2 devices, one being the Nintendo Switch and the second one being an iPhone. In this case, it's an iPhone 15 Plus. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pop this case open right here. I'm going to leave it like that so it's sitting. And I'm going to go to Bluetooth mode in the Nintendo Switch. And we're going to go to pair, see if it finds it. Now remember, this product does not have multi-point, so just kind of be aware of that. So if you want to sync it to multiple devices, you may have to unsync it to the previous one in order to put it back in pairing mode to sync to a newer device. So as soon as I tap it, it's saying connecting to Bluetooth audio. Boom, I am good to go. Now what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to remove the device, right? Remove it. Wait for that to be done. All right, it's no longer synced. And now let's try this again. So this time I'm going to open up the case again. It's going to put itself in Bluetooth pairing mode. And I'm going to try this iPhone 15 this time, 15 Plus. Go to the settings, here's the Bluetooth right here. Oh, look, popped right up in the settings. iPhone, the X08. So I'm going to tap that. Let me get that glare out of here. See if it connects. Yep, and now it's connected. So all you have to do when you're done is close the case, and boom, it automatically disconnects. And when you open the case back up, it should connect. Let me see if it says connect. Yep, and it says connected. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's our Apple Watch. Let me see if the X8 are actually connected. No? Let me tap it. That's okay. It's still connected. Either way, that is how you go through the sync process in order to actually use these earbuds. Just follow these simple instructions and it should be super easy for you moving forward. So honestly, I have to say that the gaming experience for these earbuds was pleasantly, surprisingly, very good. I did not expect that. So let me kind of explain that to the gamer in you, because I have another section for music quality. I played Hades, and I tried Call of Duty Mobile. Now the reason why I did these two particular games is because one, Hades was a very popular game at the time, and it has a lot of noises going on in the background. It has a lot of dialogue, it has a lot of sound effects. When you're fighting tons of enemies on the screen, explosions, different things going on, it actually performed very, very well, and I didn't have any skips, I didn't hear any lag. Like if I'm sliding across the screen and throwing a shield that you've seen, every time it contacted with an enemy, instantly the sound popped up, which means that these headphones can keep up with that level of sound and quality. Now, when it came to the second title, which is Call of Duty Mobile, I'm a sniper for the most part. I just started sniping. It's a wonderful experience, but I decided to go back to the M16. That's where my heart lies inside the game. And again, the sound effects sound great. I mean, it might have had like maybe one misstep, but that was because of a network issue. When it came to the gun firing, when it came to reloading sequences, when it came to footsteps, because I have a lot of settings on my character where I can hear all the things going around, I didn't have any lag latency problems whatsoever. It didn't disconnect. It was a pretty pleasant experience when it came to gaming, which is very surprising for a brand that I never heard of before. Normally it's the higher end brands that give you a great experience, but the fact that I don't think this has any app support and it still performed the way that it did is really good, especially for someone out there that just want to use this for gaming or light listening. Now, when it came to music quality, I do want to be honest with you guys. Even though I tried this with a Nintendo Switch, as you saw, I was more enveloped in music. Gaming is a different experience to me than music, even though they both have obviously sounds and voices and things like that. Music, when you play a certain song, you want to be enveloped in a song. Like for me, I love rock music. I like listening to rap. I have a folder called emo rap. But regardless, I like listening to different genres of music. And I noticed that this performs a lot better with rock music than it does with rap or let's say things like R&B. Granted, the instruments did sound pretty good. When I turned the volume up and down to like 100% and lower than that, I didn't really hear any breakage whatsoever. I didn't have any problems in that department. So if you're one of those people that think that if you try to listen to things at a higher octave, that it's going to suffer, it's actually not with this headset. But there is still a downside. So let me kind of give the good parts and then give you the bad parts. A little mixture. The good thing is that I changed the earbud tips and I noticed that I got much deeper bass when you do that. That's for any headset that you buy. It's based on the size of your ears. So just kind of keep that in mind. I would say leave it at about 70% or so, because anything higher than that, I did notice that my ears were ringing because it does have some pretty powerful sound. But then this is a setback when it comes to that. The quality of overall instruments aren't as clear as I want them to be. Like for instance, I don't want to compare it to another product, so I'm not going to do that in this video, but forget it. I'll compare it to another product. As you guys already know, I love Soundcore by Anchor. I do Nothing Buds and things like that. I'm sorry, you probably couldn't see it. These are the Nothing Buds right here. I would say that the sound profile is closer to, I would say, a pair of J-Labs. And this is what I mean. Hold on one second, guys. Let me pull out the pair for you. And this is not a slight to the company at all. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just trying to kind of gauge where the quality of sound is. Right here. These are the J-Lab Ergo Pops or something like that. This is similar. This right here, in my opinion, is similar to this in terms of quality of sound, where it has like this kind of greenish effect in the background. You can hear it. Like, it doesn't annoy you or anything when you're listening to songs, but you can definitely tell that it's there. So let's say you're listening to a slower R&B song, you're going to notice that the voices don't necessarily sound as clear as they could be, versus if you're listening to a rock song like Korn or some other group, AC/DC, you notice that because all the instruments are playing all at one time, you may not notice the lack of clarity. But it doesn't mean that the headphones aren't bad. I can honestly say that the sound profile is pretty good. When I walked around outside, I was on my scooter, guess what? I didn't have any disconnectivity issues whatsoever. And now I think about it, I don't even know what version Bluetooth these headphones are because it didn't tell me. But regardless, I didn't have any disconnectivity issues. So I can honestly say that I do, in fact, like the headset. But for that person out there that's used to, I don't know, Soundcore by Earbuds or certain brands or AirPods and stuff, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is going to be a good replacement for you because you're willing to spend more money. But I do want to also say that, how you say the name? Tagry, or I apologize if I get the name wrong, but I do want to say that these earbuds, obviously, it's not the most expensive buds that they sell. So I would assume that the more money you spend, the higher the profile is going to be. But I got to be honest about how I felt about these buds. The profile wasn't bad, but I would give it about maybe a 5 being normal. A 6 maximum if you use the equalizer to change the settings. But yeah, it's okay. Honestly say that the earbuds are extremely comfortable, for being honest here. If you're looking at the pictures over here, and I'm trying to be professional because she's sitting right in front of my face. Hello, little girl. How you doing? Anyway, the earbuds are super comfortable in my opinion. To be honest with you, when you wear them for long periods of time, and I'm talking about 3 hours or so, that's the longest that I actually wore it, I didn't really feel any ear fatigue or soreness inside of the ear, but I will notice that if you play the music at a certain octave, you might have a problem moving forward. And that's for any earbud for that matter. If it's too loud, it's going to make your eardrums, I'm not a scientist, but it's going to make your eardrums or whatever vibrate and cause headaches or soreness in your ear. And that's where that problem normally comes from. That's why I say at maximum volume. I would suggest using this at no higher than 70% on a regular basis, and that's still too loud. I would say about 40 or 50%, and you should be comfortable inside your home, walking around. Now, obviously, if you're outside speaking to people and having other conversations, you might have to turn them up to kind of drown out the sound that's around you because they don't have that active noise cancellation or transparency mode feature. But if you're not looking for it, then, you'll be perfectly fine with what you have here. So I'm going to give you guys a sound sample how it is to actually record with these buds. The audio that you're hearing right now are the earbuds. It's currently connected to my OnePlus 12. And just listen to the sound of my voice. If this is something that you like and it sounds clear, then these headphones are going to work for you very well. Now, I do want to simulate some type of noise in background. Let me just go ahead and do this real fast, where I want to turn the fan on. Well, the air conditioner. All right, so I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, and this will be my first time hearing the actual audio quality in terms of the microphones when it comes to speaking to people and basically how much noise it picks up in the background. So if you guys aren't aware of this, because my eyes keep peering over here, I'm making sure, you know how it is on cameras where things is flipped around. The air conditioner is currently on right now and then it's pumping. So if you can hear the air conditioner clearly, then that would basically mean if you're outside listening to different vehicles, not listening to vehicles obviously, but if you're outside having a conversation in cars, horns, wind and things is blowing, that will determine the quality of whether the microphones will stay clear when hearing other people. So, I figured this is probably the best way to simulate that type of noise without actually going outside. So this product can actually wireless charge. Just to prove to you that this is a working wireless charger, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Here is the iPhone 15 Plus. I'm going to place it on top of this, and it says charging 24% right there. So again, this is a total and 100% wireless charger. I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side now and place this back down. Now watch this. Now, unfortunately, if you have a different wireless charger that's smaller and easier, it's going to be easier to charge this, but you got to make sure you find a sweet spot for it to actually charge. And I'm just going to place it in the middle and see what happens. Let's try that first. Anything? Okay, nothing. Let me place it right here. There we go. So I found a sweet spot. The light is right here. It's on. It means that it is currently charging and it's flashing. So again, it doesn't take any type of special features, no settings or anything like that. As long as you have a wireless charger, just make sure you fit it in the proper spot made for either AirPods or phones or something like that, and you shouldn't have any issues charging this device. So to answer the question whether this is worth the asking price, there's two things we have to talk about, and I got to be completely honest in this video without lying to anybody. Now, the original price for these, I think, are about $49.99, and you can get them for about $35 or so on Amazon. If there's a sale, I do have the link in the description for anyone that's interested in doing that. Now, here's the bad part. My suggestion for companies moving forward is to add more features to your earbuds. Otherwise, you're not going to get many sales in the market. The reason why I say that, granted, I like these headphones. They're not bad. Now, is it what I would normally use? No, it's not. And I gotta be honest, most headphones around that price point have noise cancellation. They have transparency mode. They have in-ear detection, not ear detection. Well, actually, these, believe it or not, have in-ear detection. This is only $40. And then when you put this to the side, these are the what are these? The P30Is. They have wind reduction, they have bass, they have everything. It is a full application that supports it. And again, this isn't a bad product, but when you try to price things the same price as products that have substantially more features, you kind of stab yourself in the foot when you're trying to sell to the general public. But that's just my personal opinion. Now, again, for anyone that likes this, by all means, the link is in the description. Feel free to research it or look at other reviews of people that also do these buds. You can get more information to make sure that it is in fact for you. But with that being said, I'll just leave that way. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, and I will see y'all in the next video.